Shana Tova, Chatima Tova. Welcome everyone. We heard the beautiful music, and even though we're not physically in the same room, I think with this beautiful music, Ilana was playing just like she always does from here, and to me it felt like we are together at this moment. And we'll have songs, prayers, reflection. This is Yom Kippur. And as we begin, we'll begin also hearing from many of us and couldn't get on the same room, but that didn't stop us. And we have a beautiful matovu to welcome everyone. This is how we always begin any high holiday services. And you're at home at this point. Probably you're all very familiar with our Zoom services. So please be free to sing along. Actually, that'll be wonderful, and read along and join us, and let's make the most out of this special time of Yom Kippur. So we'll begin with Matovu. What does it mean to be a congregation? It means to care about each other. Pray, we can also pray alone, by ourselves. But we come together as a congregation in order to share our life as Jews, to be part of the community of Israel, past, present, and future. Lighting our candles, we are united with Jews in all lands who week by week, as has been done for thousands of years, celebrate our God-given gifts, creation, freedom, and community. Kindling these lights, we now consecrate this time to joy and appreciation, to nurture our spirit, and to affirm our connection to our people and our tradition. So let us join lighting our lights, our candles. You can do this at home, and if you wish, I'll invite you to rise, just like if you were here, and join us for the candle lighting and candle blessing. May these lights, symbols of hope and peace, bring warmth to our hearts, love to our families, and blessing to all. So we can all be seated. In the Talmud, we are told, when you pray, know before whom you stand. So it is written, know before whom you stand. But in truth, do we know? Perhaps. Perhaps what we stand before is our incredible history, a chronicle of vision and determination, quiet heroism, and the will to live. Perhaps we now stand before the memory of those of us who struggled to be human in a world that was indifferent, dark, and cruel. Perhaps it is Torah that now summons us to rise, the crown of our tradition, reverence for wisdom and learning, a passion to question, and permission to doubt. Perhaps we stand before the ideals that call us, to seek equality and justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly on this earth. Perhaps we rise in awe at the wonder of life and the kinship of all that lives, and the unknowable and nameable mystery that brought us here. But we stand together, seekers, doubters, along with those who are firm in our faith. And this we know. The day is short, the work immense, the laborers are reluctant, the reward is great, the need is urgent, and the time is now. We have every year on Yom Kippur a beautiful tradition of, as we prepare to take the Torah, to remember and actually see and reenact how it's not a given that we have Torah. Torah doesn't simply is there waiting for us. Somebody has to carry it. Somebody has to make it available for us, for a generation, for the next, for each one of us. Somebody had to bring it here to carry. Somebody had to put it here in an Arona Kodesh. And so this is the time when we honor all our past presidents, and through them, all those who work hard and with dedication and with love so that we here have this congregation and we have this Torah with us. And we typically take Torah and let it pass through the hands of all our past presidents. And today we're going to do that, of course, in a modified way, but we'll still do that. So we'll open the Arona Kodesh and take the Torah. Typically, I'll invite you to rise to honor Torah, so if you wish to, please also rise. And we have our Torah, and we're going to still recognize all the past presidents who help us be here today and reach this moment. And we'll see them on the video with their own words.
I'm Diane Cheskis, and I had the privilege of being the first president of Beth Shalom.
Hi, I'm Bob Cheskis, and I'm also the past president of Beth Shalom.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Lashana Tova from the Yagudas. We've been members since 1985.
Happy New
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hi, this is Pam Reebok. I'm here with my husband, Jim, my son, Will, and my brand new daughter-in-law, Natalie. I was president from 2004 to 2006.
Gemar Chatima Tova, Shana Tova.
Shana Tova, everyone. My name is Ken Hammer, and I had the honor of being the president of Beth Shalom from 2005 until 2007. I have the even greater honor of being married to my beloved bride, Ruth, for almost 30 years. Together we have a daughter named Alexandra, who lives in St. Louis with her husband, Bill, and we have a son named Jacob, who lives in Washington, D.C., and all of us would like to wish you and your families a very healthy and happy New Year.
Hi there, this is Larry Ginsberg, past president of Beth Shalom from 2010 through 2013, and members of Beth Shalom since 1995. Karen, Jeffrey, and I would like to wish everybody a happy, healthy, and safe New Year 5781. Shana Tova.
Hi, I'm Sally Zenek. We have lived in Cary since 1989 and been members of Beth Shalom since that time. I was president beginning in 2012.
I'm Hal Zenek. I had the honor of serving as president starting in 2014, and the thrill that we have now of passing the Torah along.
Lashana Tova.
Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Albert. I'm one of the past presidents of Beth Shalom. I've been thinking about the High Holy Days this year and remembering all those times when we used to have to meet at a church before we built our beautiful sanctuary. And in that church, even though it was wonderful for all of us to be together, we would say, hopefully next year at Beth Shalom. Well, this year we're all saying the same thing. As we meet together, whether in small groups or with our families, we're once again saying, hopefully next year at Beth Shalom. So that's the thought, and I wish all of you Shana Tova. May you have plenty of resilience to get through this difficult time, and may you be surrounded by the love of family and friends.
And there is, of course, Gloria and Shelley Wellstein, who have been at Beth Shalom from the very beginning and been such an integral part of our congregation. And there's also Paul and Trudy Krasner, who also been here since ever Beth Shalom has been here. And for in both of their cases, we were all blessed, and they were blessed to see not only their children, but the third generation already being part here of Beth Shalom. So, having recognized all our past presidents with our Torah, let us continue with Kol Nidre.
Kol Nidre, Vachinu ye, vachinu say, Ushavuot, Didarna, Udaish vatana, Udiachave meya, Badiarsana, Al nafshatana, miyom kippurim zeh, ad yom kippurim, haba aleinu l'tova, kuhon Echerat Navachon, Kol Yahon Sharat, Shavikin, Shavitin, Batelin Rivatarim, Lo Sharirin, Velo Kayamin, Nidrana, Lo Nidre, V'yesarena, Lo esare, Ushvotana, Lo Shavuot.
May the whole congregation of Israel be forgiven, as well as the stranger residing in their midst, for the people all have sinned without malice. Vayomer Adonai salachti kidvarecha, and the Eternal One said, I have forgiven as you have asked. And we reach this moment, and let's express our thanks and our gratitude singing Sheheyanu. Return Torah to the Aron HaKodesh. And we'll continue also facing the Aron HaKodesh. If you were standing, please remain standing for Baruch Hu. Seated, please. And now we have the pleasure of having Arlene from home leading our next prayer.
Today is Yom Hadin, Day of Judgment, a day of challenge. Yom Kippur poses this challenge to my spirit, to receive with open mind and heart what is offered to me, to accept and appreciate what is given to me. I pray that I may rise to meet life's challenges. May I learn to embrace as easily as I evaluate. May I quiet the ever-present instinct to judge and critique. May I cultivate the gift of listening without framing a reply. May I learn to accept help from those who care for me. May I grow less insistent that life bend to my will and expectations. May generosity of spirit find a home within me.
And I'll invite you to join me. We praise God, source of life, sovereign through time and space, which summons the coming of the evenings, opening gateways with wisdom, varying and alternating the seasons with reason, setting an order for the stars as they travel through the skies, creating day and night, rolling light away for darkness and darkness away for light, making day pass and bringing on the night, establishing distinction between day and night. Source of all forces is God's name, a vital and abiding power, constantly ruling over us forever. Praise are you, Adonai, the boundless one, bringing on the evening.
Echai b'kayam, tamid yimlach aleinu amvoed, baruch atah Adonai, hamari baravim.
Amen. And always before Shema, we sing of Ahava. Let us join for Ahavat Olam with Evan and Julia.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah mitzvot ukimu mishpatim otanu lemadeta Akin Adonai Eloheinu b'shokmeinu u'vkoreinu nasiya b'hutecha v'nisma b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Mihem hayenu be'orech yameinu u'bahem negeh yomam v'layla.
V'ata taseh mimenu yolamim, baruch atah Adonai, Elohei v'amo Yisrael.
Amen. Let's please rise and join for Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. And we may be seated, please, and we'll continue now with the words from Torah, Ve'ahavta, led by Rachel and Rabbi Mark and Emery.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam lebenanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vlechtecha v'derech u'shofecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Eloheichem ani Adonai Eloheichem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Eloheichem.
And Andrea now will lead us in the next reading.
Our sages teach that miracles and wonders are with us always, and goodness is woven through our lives. The rare miracles are astounding. They shake us to the core. And wonders, These, they say, are the miracles of which we are unaware. Well hidden in the laws of nature reside the greatest wonders. The rhythm of our breathing, the rise and fall of tides, the wing beats of a hummingbird, the choreography of bees, the cosmic forces and cycles of the sky, sunlight energizing life on green leaves. How wondrously fixed and predictable. Migration of birds, sunrise and sunset, the beat of our hearts. How extraordinary is the ordinary. But goodness, is it always with us? Can we feel it even now? Remember this, the eye is narrow in its gaze, for at this very moment, some lives are bathed in miracle. There is the newborn child in the arms of parents, even those who were past the point of hope. There's happiness in a new improbable love after years of loneliness. There is healing and recovery, the easing of old pains and grief. There is rain after drought. There is a first light of peace in a war-darkened land. Let's now look up from our dark places and trust. Somewhere, even now, wondrous goodness is blossoming forth.
And speaking of wonders and goodness, we now continue with a very, very old song, Mi Chamocha, our song of hope. Let us join. Mi Chamocha b'Elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Dora tehilot osef lele, malchutecha ra'u fanecha, b'kei hayom lefnei Moshe, ze Elianu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. And let us continue now with Kaddish.
Yikada v'yikada Shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Yamodi v'chirute v'yamlich malchute v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael b'agav zman kari v'yamuru.
Amen. Yesh Shmei Rabba mevarach
Yibarak v'yishtabak v'yipar v'yigomah v'yanaseh v'yitadav v'yitalev v'yitalach Shemei d'kudusha b'richu ve'elah Memcha birchata v'shirata
Tush b'chata v'nechemata v'yama v'yamru. Amen. And we now join for the Amidah. Amidah is a standing prayer. We face towards the Aron HaKodesh, but we're really facing east towards Jerusalem. So I'll invite you to rise and find that east corner at home and join us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor, Vehanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei HaKol Vezocher Chazdei Avod Veimahot Umevi Geula Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Ve'ava זוכרנו לחיים, מלך החפץ בחיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. וחוד בינו בספר החיים. למענך אלוהים חיים, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני העפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך מימית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע. מי כמוך ברחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אמן. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, המלך הקדוש. Amen. Let us be seated, please. Eternal God, you empower us to know your ways of righteousness. We have been granted just laws and truthful teachings, rules and mitzvot that are good for life. Please join me. You have endowed us with seasons for joy, sacred occasions and festivals for generosity and gratitude. You bestowed upon us Shabbat holiness, the dignity of set times, our opportunities for celebration. We have been lovingly given this day of Shabbat, this day of remembrance, a day of shofar blast, a sacred gathering, recalling our exodus from Egypt. Adonai, may you remember us this day for well-being, acknowledge us with blessing, granting us the fullness of life. May this day of remembrance be a time for deliverance and well-being, for grace, loving kindness, and compassion, for life and for peace. Amen. 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 And join us singing now, Retze.
Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael u'tefilotam be'ahava tekabel. In our praise and in our prayer, may we know you everywhere. Oh, Adonai. troubles cloud our minds. May there be new strength we find, and in everything we do, may we be closer to you. We'd say Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, U'tefilatam, Be'ahava tekabel, Be'ahava tekabel.
And for this meditation for Yom Kippur, Seth will lead us from home.
I asked for ease, and I got hardships that taught me endurance. I asked for confidence, and I got hazards that made me courageous. I asked for power, and I got frustrations and failures that taught me perseverance. I asked to be loved, and I discovered serving others made me loving. I asked for fun, and I got family and friends that gave me fulfillment. I asked for success, and I got opportunities to make me self-reliant. I asked for wealth, and I got a moral conscience that made me worthy. I got nothing I asked for, but everything I needed.
In that spirit, let us join for our expression of gratitude, our Hoda'ah. Let us join. Eternal God, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, and for the richness of the earth which sustains us day by day. For all these gifts and more, we thank and bless you, the source of all goodness. Besefer Chaim Bracha V'Shalom. May we be remembered and inscribed in the book of life, blessing, peace, and dignified living. We and all your people Israel, for a life of goodness and peace.
Baruch atah Adonai, Osei HaShalom.
Amen. And we'll conclude the Amidah with this beautiful verse from the book of Psalms, Ihiyu Leratzon, led by Laura and Evan. As we do on every Shabbat and every time we gather together as a community for our prayers, we think of all those in need of healing, of recovery of body, of spirit, of strength, of joy, and particularly these days, we think of so many of our neighbors, so many people in our country and everywhere in need of healing and in need of all our efforts to make sure that that healing happens and continues to happen. So let us join together singing Mi Sheberach.
Mi sheberach avoteinu, makor habracha,
that just ended, 5780. We'll remember that one. That was a hard year. And 5781 is here and still very new. Let's hope that this year will bring many blessings and we start again something new and something better. And in that spirit, Melissa will now lead us on this reading.
In the years since my father's death, I have learned to trust, to hope, and to laugh again. After my first marriage, I somehow learned to open my eyes, my heart, and my arms again. Throughout our lives, we should feel the pain of our losses, the scars still present even after much time has passed. But we will also feel the strength of our spirit, the ability to persevere in the face of pain, the power to dream despite the many nightmares of existence, the stamina to push forward into the future, carrying our past with us all the while, is the power of God within us. This is our hope, our salvation. This is how we begin again.
Thank you, Melissa. And on Yom Kippur, we take a hard look at ourselves and we do our vidui. Our vidui is actually a confession. We confess as a community our sins, the ones that we commit, the ones that we participate and are complicit, the ones that we allow to be committed around us. So it's our tradition that we stand up for this, that we rise. So let us rise as we continue with Ashamnu.
Ay, 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 ay. Ashamnu,
Ashamnu,
Bagadnu,
Bagadu,
Gazalnu,
Gazalnu,
Dibarnu Toef,
Divarnu Dofi.
ay, 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 ay. Havinu,
Havinu,
Vehishanu,
Vehishanu,
Zadnu,
Zadnu,
Hamasnu,
Hamasnu,
Tofanu Shaker,
Tafanu Shaker,
ay, 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 ay. Yatznua,
Yatznura,
Kizavnu,
Kizavnu,
Latznu,
Latznu,
Maradnu,
Maranu,
Niatznu,
Niatznu,
ay, 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 Saranu,
Saranu,
Avinu,
Avinu,
Pashanu,
Pashanu,
Saranu,
Saranu,
Kishinu Oef,
Kishinu Oref,
ay, 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 Rashanu,
Rashanu,
Shihatnu,
Shikadnu,
Tiavnu,
Tiavnu,
Ainu,
Tainu,
Titanu,
Titanu. And we may be seated, and we'll continue our confession of sins. We sin against you as we sin against ourselves. For our failures of truth, O God, we ask forgiveness. So let us join aloud. For pretending to emotions we do not feel, for using the sins of others to excuse our own, for denying our responsibility for our own misfortunes, for refusing to admit our share in the troubles of others, for condemning in our children the faults we tolerate in ourselves, for condemning in our parents the faults we tolerate in ourselves, for passing judgment without knowledge of the facts, for remembering the price of things but forgetting their value, for teaching our children everything but the meaning of life, for loving our egos better than the truth. Ve'al kulam Eloha הסליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו. We sin against you when we sin against ourselves. For our failures of love, O God, we ask forgiveness. Let us join. For using people as stepping stones to our advancement, for confusing lust with love, for withholding love to control those we claim to love, for hiding from others behind an armor of mistrust, for treating with arrogance people weaker than ourselves, for condescending attitudes towards those whom we regard as inferiors, for shunting aside those whose age is an embarrassment to us, for giving ourselves fleeting pleasure while inflicting lasting hurts, for embracing cynicism which eats away our faith in real love. Ve'al kulam Eloha slichot, Salach lanu, Echal lanu, Kaper lanu. We sin against you when we sin against ourselves. For our failures of justice, O God, we ask forgiveness. And let us join one more time. For the sin of keeping the poor trapped in poverty, for the sin of tolerating injustice day after day, for the sin of racial hatred and prejudice, and for the sin of denying its existence, for the sin of using violence to maintain our power, for the sin of using violence to bring about change, for the sin of harming all life on this planet, for the sin of polluting our common home, poisoning water and air, for the sin of supporting avoidable wars, for the sin of appeasing dictators and aggressors, for the sin of following tainted orders, for the sin of lacking the civic courage to speak up, for the sin of silence and indifference, for remaining passive though we care, for the sin of hardening our hearts, accepting a cruel status quo, for the sin of enjoying the rights we don't fully extend to others. Ve'al kulam Eloha slichot, Salach lanu, Mechal lanu, Kaper lanu. And we'll continue now opening the Aron HaKodesh for Avinu Malkeinu. We'll invite you all please to rise as we open the Aron HaKodesh, and we'll begin singing with Nikki and Evan.
Afinu
Let us join together reading Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice, our source, our sovereign, we have sinned before you. Avinu Malkeinu, show compassion to us and our children. Our source, our sovereign, make an end to sickness, war, and famine. Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to all oppression and hatred. Avinu Malkeinu, let our wrongdoing be forgiven. Our source, our sovereign, restore us in wholehearted repentance. Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us in the book of merit. Our source, our sovereign, inscribe us in the book of good life. Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a good year. And let us join singing Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Baneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Baneinu, Ki ein banu masir. Aseh imanu, tzedakah And let us all be seated, please. One of the beautiful traditions in Bet Shalom is that on Yom Kippur, other than hearing from our singers and choir and rabbi, of course, we hear from our president, from our congregation president. And as you can imagine, obviously, this year, it's going to be a little bit different. And actually, this year is going to be even better because we get to see our president in a different way, and she also made sure that the voice of several others are also heard today on Yom Kippur. So we'll get a joint message from different people in our community, and I would not say any more, so we can hear now the words of Beth Nathan.
Good morning, Beth Shalom. It is Monday, September 21st. We are into our High Holy Days week, and I am at one of my favorite places in the area. It's the Hilltop Needmore Preserve and Park in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. My name is Beth Nathan. I am your president, and I am proud to be talking to you today in my president's message. We are doing everything differently, aren't we? I figured since we are just mixing everything up this year, I would talk to you from someplace different, because we're all someplace different today. We're all celebrating Yom Kippur in our homes, or in our beach houses, or at our families' homes. We might be in the same zip code, we might be across the country, we might be across the world, but we're all together through the magic of video and Zoom and the Beth Shalom IT team. So here we are. Don't be surprised if at some point on my walk this morning I pass by Joel and Deb Sugarman, who I often see when I am walking these beautiful trails, usually coming from that direction. Don't be surprised if I'm panting as I'm talking to you, because these are some pretty hilly trails. But I just wanted to pop in this morning and say hello and really just check in. I don't have a whole lot to convey in my message that hasn't been already conveyed to you over the last 7 months. One thing that maybe hasn't been conveyed enough is my extreme thanks and gratitude to everyone who has made these last 7 months happen. It's pretty incredible. Oh, here comes a runner. It's pretty incredible to think about everything that has gone into this endeavor. I know those of you who are on our weekly video Shabbats have some sense of it, but I can't even begin to start to name the people that deserve thanks in so many unbelievable ways. So let's just suffice it to say there is a team behind me. Not literally, there's no one behind me, but there's a team behind me and Rabbi who have really kept this community going through what is possibly one of the most challenging things I think we've all faced as a congregation. So thank you. For me, I think the best way to express what Beth Shalom is and what Beth Shalom means and why it's so important on this day for us to reflect on everything that we have built over the last 2.5 decades is to listen to our congregants. So I have reached out to a number of my friends and people you will recognize, and they are going to share a little bit about what Beth Shalom means to them. So enjoy.
Hi, I'm Ellen Morricone. Beth Shalom to me means family. It's not only a place to go for worship, but it's a place where we can continue our education and just be around people who are so amazing and loving and caring. And I'm just blessed to be a part of the Beth Shalom community. And I look forward to many years of being a member. Thank you for wonderful leadership and so many opportunities that just keep coming along. And I just want to say thank you to everyone at Beth Shalom for having me as a member of your family.
Hi, I'm William. Beth Shalom is important to me because I feel at home and everyone is so nice. I enjoy seeing my friends and teachers at Beth Shalom.
Beth Shalom has been a part of our lives for over 20 years, and I've been so fortunate to have been a volunteer and work with so many wonderful and talented people on countless projects and events. But what I love most about Beth Shalom is connection, the connection to Judaism, to our rabbi, to the staff, and to the people that I've worked with and most amazing friends that I've made. I love you all like family, and I'm so thankful for all of you. That's what Beth Shalom means to me.
And for me, it's been a similar experience. About 10 years ago, I started playing music for the Shabbat. It was just me and my guitar. And in no time at all, I was surrounded by the most wondrous musicians and playing with the quartet and doing music for the synagogue has been a great, great experience.
Hi, my name is Lyle Nathan, and today I'm going to be talking about what Beth Shalom means to me. What Beth Shalom means to me is like a second family, because Beth Shalom, I always know that there's someone there that I can talk to, and I always know that I will have something to rely on, and somewhere where I can praise God, and somewhere where I can be myself.
Hi, I'm Carla Nathan, and Beth Shalom just means family to me. They always make their academic program fun, and I know all the people's names there, and I always give them a hug. They are so sweet to me and nice. So thank you, Beth Shalom families. Bye.
Lashana Tova. I'm Sally Zenick.
And I'm Hal Zinnick.
When we moved here in 1989, we were looking for a congregation that would welcome families, have a religious school, offer social opportunities, and of course, fill our religious needs. We found that Beth Shalom could do all of these. When we joined, the school had 4 students near B'nai Mitzvah age, and 2 of them were our sons. Hal began training them for their B'nai Mitzvahs, and that was the start of 28 years of students.
Even though the caring Jewish community, Synod, later to become Beth Shalom, was affiliated with the Reform movement, the 4 founding families came from conservative backgrounds. So, the services and prayers were familiar to us. We found that we could get involved with social events and meet people by joining in committees and eventually the board.
We have had great satisfaction from our membership at Beth Shalom. It is our family. We hope that you have or will have similar experiences.
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline Schmidt. Happy Rosh Hashanah. Thank you all so much for coming to the Zoom services. I'm so glad that you guys are all here. I've been going to Beth Shalom since I was in 2nd grade, which is crazy, pretty much my whole life. And I think the main thing that the community has taught me is resilience in every part of Jewishness, especially through learning. Being a Jew is not easy. It's a hard standard to uphold and a hard past to accept. But everybody at Beth Shalom has gone through that with me and taught me how to deal with it. And I'm so grateful for everyone there. I wanted to thank all my teachers, all the madrahim that helped me, all the madrahim that I worked with when I was a madrahim. I'd like to thank Dante for being such a wonderful student of mine. I'd like to thank the rabbi and everybody else as a part of the community, Josh Kennedy for being my Beshti advisor, and everyone in Beshti. I just love the temple so much, and I wouldn't be the same person without it. So happy Rosh Hashanah, and yeah.
If only Beth Shalom were a safe space for private prayer and reflection, Dayenu, that would be enough. If only Beth Shalom provided me a place to connect with old friends while making new ones. Again, Dayenu, that would be enough. If only Beth Shalom showed our children, by example, all that being involved in a temple gives back to us as individuals and as a family, that too, Dayenu, would be enough. If only Beth Shalom was there for me at my weakest moments when my dad passed away, as they came out to lend support in ways big and small and in between, to lend me power to cope through that difficult journey of mourning, then yeah, that Dayenu too would have been enough on its own. And if only Beth Shalom showed our children how Judaism is interwoven throughout the year in our community, through social action or mitzvah day, and how much of a three-dimensional way of life it is, versus the scraps for the soul it would be if we went twice a year, both times in September, no less, that would yield. That would be enough, Dayenu. So, Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. Beth Shalom, to me means just enough of everything I need, and our family needs. Just enough family, at times functional and dysfunctional, just enough, an abundance of tolerance, and just enough and just enough love. That's what Beth Shalom means to me.
I am sure that you enjoy this as much as I did, and things are completely different, but there can be also so good to just see connections, as Ilana was saying in the last section, going through probably one of the most challenging times that we have lived, at least in a long time. And I must also confess that beginning a new year and being in front of a screen, I don't know how many hours a day, usually don't feel all that hopeful and confident necessarily, and there's lots of anxiety and concern and plenty of things that don't make me feel all that with a positive outlook necessarily. What a difference. So I want to thank all of you who are here in this video who did this, because I needed that reminder, and I'm sure we all can use that reminder of what it is and who we are and the connections between us and what amazing group of people that everybody brings so many wonderful things. And that definitely, Dayenu, that will be enough to overcome anything. And so thank you all. And let us join now as we begin to conclude this service for the evening with a prayer that is also about us, Aleinu, and about standing with each other and looking forward with hope. So I'll invite you all please to rise as we join for Aleinu.
נשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Let us join. Aleinu, it is our duty. Ours the duty to listen, ours the duty to praise, and ours is the duty to respond to what we hear, to raise questions, and to build houses of study in which to ask them, to praise the God of eternity for every hour we have, for every day, to praise Torah as we act in response to the challenges of Torah. Ours the duty to do justice, ours the duty to be Israel, to repair the broken, to open doors for all, to bow before the commanding power that says, it is not your duty to get all the work completed, but to remain committed to and engage in it.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
And we'll remain standing to recite together Kaddish. As you know, with Kaddish we remember loved ones who are no longer with us, but we remember them with love, with gratitude, with thanks, who remember their lives, the many blessings they brought through us. So let us join. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחי יכון וביום יכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. And let us all be seated. We have one more song for this evening of Kol Nidre and Yom Kippur. Before we sing here together Hashkivenu, quick reminder, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. we'll have our Yom Kippur morning service, which of course will include Torah, Haftarah, and towards the end of the morning service, it will also be Izkor, our memorial service. So this is tomorrow morning at 10. And then in the afternoon of Yom Kippur at 5 p.m. we'll have a panel discussion. We'll have wonderful guests. We have a couple of people from our own Bet Shalom, different generations, genders, and perspectives, and we're going to discuss exactly what's the moment that we're going through in our country and what does it mean for each one of them from their perspective and for us moving forward. I think should be a wonderful conversation to have on a day of Yom Kippur, a wonderful way of reflecting on where we are. And at 6 p.m., when that conversation is over, we'll have a short ne'ilah. We'll conclude our service. We'll hear from friends in Jewish communities in different parts of the world, and we'll conclude with Havdalah. So that's the plan for tomorrow. And for this evening, I need to thank again. The thank yous are not enough, but everybody here singing and playing and leading and making sure that everything can be seen and heard. And to the few of you who are here all through the service, thank you very much. Those who are outside, those who are here, there's really, team is the way to describe everything we do. So thank you all. And this final prayer, Hashkivenu, bring us, Adonai our God, to lie down peacefully this night and rise up on the morrow to a life of goodness and peace. Extend over us the sukkah of your peace. So let us sing Hashkivenu.
Guide us.
Hatima Tova, may we all be inscribed and sealed in the books of life, of health and blessings. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.